This video was created in collaboration with Beam Eye Tracker. Immersion. Immersion is what drew me to playing Star Citizen. The feeling of moving within a realistic and believable world. The illusion that our in-game character isn't just a scripted element, but an integral part of the entire setting. So, what exactly is immersion? According to Illumine magazine published by University of Southern California, immersion is a process by which a media element entices a person to suspend their disbelief and accept what they are viewing on a screen or page as actual reality. The word immersion itself means to plunge into, which already tells us a lot about the kind of experience we might have when playing a well-crafted game. Suspending disbelief is the key element here. It allows us to dive into the game's world and feel like a part of it, even though we are navigating the retro-futuristic setting of Star Citizen. It often feels like the game's world is simply believable. Of course, like in any other game, there are elements that breaks immersion. For example, numerous bugs, strange object physics, or certain game mechanics. But I have to admit, many elements of CIG's project help me suspend my disbelief and dive into gameplay that truly makes me feel like a real Star Citizen. Elements that build immersion. Sound design is an essential part of immersive gameplay. Believable mechanical sounds made by ships, weapons, tools, and city trains, audio announcements, ads at space stations, even songs playing in bar. All of this enchants the believability of the in-game world and greatly impacts our experience. The cherry on top is the music, which creates a unique atmosphere and, most importantly, fits the current situation or location. Game lore is a huge contributor to immersion, especially when in-game elements are justified by story. The fact that every ship and almost every item is made by a specific manufacturer with its own design style, industry, and even backstory, this adds a lot. Star Citizen is extremely detailed in this regard, and you can see it everywhere. Even basic mechanics like respawning in medical clinics using technology from Bioticorp, or the character creator branded with their logo and tied into Star Citizen's lore, help us suspend disbelief by proving logical explanations for why our character can respawn after death. Graphics, especially detailed models, textures, and lighting, build a sense of believability for locations, objects, and both spacecrafts and land vehicles we use. I also have to mention animations, which do scripted and still in need of developer polish, when combined with realistic visuals, helps us suspend disbelief and feel like we are in real world. A perfect example would be weapon animations. The elements above are incredibly important, but in my opinion the most crucial one is interactivity. The fact that we can lie down or sit on the bed, make ourselves a coffee in our apartment, build immersion right from the start. Often backed off elevators, whether in spaceports or cargo lifts or in hangars elevators, and the number of interactive elements in ships alone, like my favorite weapon racks, or the range of options and settings for our ships, the way we actually pilot our spacecraft, having to manually turn on power, ignite engines, retract landing gear, all contribute to a quasi-simulation experience that significantly boosts the sense of immersion in this game. For me, interactions are the more important aspect, and support for various features and controllers makes navigating this created world even more believable. It makes sense that using flight sticks help you feel more in control of your ship than using a mouse and keyboard. It also makes sense that controlling the camera with head tracking makes it easier to feel immersed. Whether we're driving a vehicle, piloting a fighter, or exploring locations on foot, head tracking adds a lot. These solutions are often quite costly, but not always. Thanks to the generosity of eyewear tech, I had the chance to test out the Beam Eye Tracker, a head and eye tracking software that only requires a camera to work. I used the built-in webcam in my laptop, but you can also use an external camera or even your smartphone. What surprised me was the price. This feature cost just under $30, and you can test it completely for free. As you've seen in the footage so far, this software lets me create more dynamic and cinematic shots. Exploring different locations in Star Citizen became more engaging for me, and overall the game experience became more immersive. Besides the fact that the program doesn't need any special hardware and is so affordable, it also doesn't consume many resources, in my case around 400 megabytes of RAM. But I'm talking about the version bought directly from the developer's website, because the product is also available on Steam. I personally don't recommend the Steam version, as it too consumes additional system resources by running the Steam in the background. Installation and basic configuration are extremely simple. Beam Eye Tracker is designed to guide the player through each setup step without any hassle. But the more advanced options do require deeper engagement and some testing. Head and eye tracking can be configured in-game in the Beam Eye Tracker setting and using the free OpenTrack script which Beam Eye Tracker utilize. More options means more possibilities, but it's a double-edged sword, and an inexperienced user may get overwhelmed. I consider that both a drawback and an advantage. This is my first and so far only experience with eye tracking in games, so I can't call this video a full review. But my opinion is that it's absolutely worth trying, especially since you can test the product for free. I don't think there is a more honest offer than that. And to me, that's what matters the most. In the video description and the pinned comment, you will find the necessary links. Try out the program, and if you decide to buy it, be sure you use my affiliate link as it helps support the channel. And on top of that, you get Beam Eye Tracker version without necessity to use a Steam launcher. And now, let's see how Beam Eye Tracker performs during space combat. Alright, here we go. I'm very curious if head tracking will give me some advantage in space combat. We will see. What is this? Mole? Let's stick to the plan. Oh, here you are. Okay, contract is complete. Do we have any other targets here? Here is something. Pisces is dead, now this monstrosity. Oh. It's only Vulture. Even PvE with head tracking is, in my opinion, much more interesting. I can see everything. And now I want to show you quick setup for Beam Eye Tracker. This is what is working for me in Star Citizen. Very basic settings, but in my opinion this is great entry point for you to create your own settings. First step is of course getting Beam Eye Tracker. Please use this link from the description of this video. This is of course my referral link. And if you buy this lovely software here using this link, you will also support my channel. This version don't require Steam to work, which is in my opinion very important. If you want just try Beam Eye Tracker for free, use this link and download free demo from Steam, which I also recommend. Now, when we have Beam Eye Tracker installed, we can click here to quick calibrate. Calibration is pretty easy. Just look using your head movement. This is important. Look at this dot, click it. Now use your head movement and look at this dot, click. Now another one, and the last one. And everything is done. You just calibrated your Beam Eye Tracker. Now let's go to the settings. This is my general settings. I tried to change head tracking filtering, but in my opinion, just leaving it as it is the best. Tracking eyes both. Enable gaming extensions. This is very important. I changed my head tracking yaw and pitch range a little bit for 75, and everything else is on 50. If you need some help for settings, you can use this quick guide. I'm not using eye tracking overlay. I'm not using as well multi-screen pointers and mouse jumping. Now let's go to camera. You can choose your resolution and frame rate. I will use higher resolution and higher frame rate because then Beam Eye Tracker is working a little bit better. Camera placement is also very important. I am using built-in camera in my laptop, so this camera is on top of the screen. But if you are using a stationary camera or maybe your smartphone, and the smartphone is standing under your monitor, you can change it. You can also change camera tilt. My camera is in front of me, so I don't want to change it. Let's go to performance, and in this case I will use system settings by default. You can use, for example, high performance or power saving if your PC is not very powerful. My PC is not very powerful, but I don't see any problems using just system settings by default. Now, hotkeys. I am using only one hotkey and I don't want to change anything here, especially I'm not using mouse jumping and so on and so forth. Next step is gaming extensions. We turned on gaming extensions. This is very important to use Beam Eye Tracker in Star Citizen. And if you want this window to pop up, just turn on and turn off this gaming extensions or restart Beam Eye Tracker. You will have it. Now, we need to go to Setup Guide for Open Track. Let's click it. We need Open Track extension to use Beam Eye Tracker in Star Citizen and in other games. You can use this quick setup guide if you like reading more than watching and listening a random YouTuber like me. But the most important thing is downloading and installing free Open Track PC software. Here is a link. Let's open it up. And you can download, set up and install this extension. I have this already installed, and now I show you what we can do in Open Track PC software. Okay, here we have Open Track extension, and first thing we need to do is to create new empty config file. Let's name it 1, and now here we need to select eyewear beam. You don't change anything in output, and if we're talking about filters, I was testing various filters here. I am choosing EWMA. Next, We go to the options, and I am using only one shortcut. Let's bind center shortcut with one of my mouse buttons. Let's go to output. I'm not changing anything here, but if you want to, for example, disable roll, you can disable it here. I am not changing anything more, just this one shortcut. And let's click OK. Now, when we press start, we can check out this little adorable octopus, because this octopus will move like our heads. And one more very important thing, I forgot about this. Return to the beam eye tracker settings and be sure you have head tracking output, not head and gaze output. In my opinion, using just head tracking in Star Citizen is good enough. I don't want to move my head in-game, move my camera in-game using my eyes. I want to use only my head. Now let's return to the open track, and as we see, I am moving my head right now, and camera is very sensitive. Every little movement is visible here, and I don't want to move my camera every time I am doing a little movement with my head, because often if I am talking even, I am doing a little movements with my head. So let's go here to mapping. We can set sensitivity for every input, yaw, pitch and roll. You can see this little dot, it's moving when I am moving my head. If I want to move my head left, it moves as well. If I'm moving right, it moves as well. But I don't want to detect every small movement. So I click on this bar. I create 2 points here. One here and one on the end. Now let's drag this one all the end and this one, for example, here to below. Now let's do the same thing for pitch. And for roll. Now I try to roll my head, and only if I am rolling much more, this dot is going up. I can adjust this a little bit on the left. Now small head movements are not affecting your camera movement, but if you roll your head much more, will start affecting your camera movement. The same thing is for pitch. Small movements are not affecting my camera. I adjust this like this. Now I can go up and down. Okay, little bit here. Okay, this is perfect. You know yourself the best. The small head movements are ignored right now by this camera. Let's go to yaw. Okay, I need a little bit more sensitivity, so I drag it also to the left. And yeah, everything is ready. Let's click OK. And every time we want, because sometimes you can change your position in front of camera, you can always click your shortcut to center the eye tracking. Okay, everything is almost done. We need to go to Star Citizen and set there couple of things. Okay, greetings from beautiful Obituary Station. Let's go to the settings, select COM, FOIP and head tracking, and we need to select Head Tracking General Source, Track IR. This is the most important thing to change. Head Tracking General toggle. You can enable it, you can disable it. It's not very important because we will have shortcut to do it. I don't want to have offset positions in cockpits, so I didn't change it. Change head tracking auto recalibrate for yes. Head tracking global smoothing position, I change it for 100 because I want to have nice smooth movements for more cinematic shots. If you want to just have more rough and faster head tracking, you can change it. The same thing is about rotation. Head tracking disable while seated. Be sure it is disabled, but you can disable head tracking during interaction mode. Highly recommend because in interaction mode we need to be precise. If you want to disable head tracking during FPS, you can change it, but I don't want to disable this during FPS. But I don't want to have head tracking during ADS, Mobiglass. This is not useful if you are using Mobiglass, so I disabled it. You can disable roll in seats. I don't want to do it. I don't want also disable roll in FPS. I want to have head tracking in external view. This is very important for me, but if you don't want this, you can change it. But I want to disable head tracking in inventory, so I clicked yes. This is not important because we can disable or enable head tracking by clicking shortcut. Every other setting is related to the other head tracking device, so it's not important in our situation. So that's all if we talking about comms, VoIP and head tracking settings. Now let's go to the game settings. If we want to have more cinematic view outside of our ship, if you are using third-person mode, you can enable cinematic camera. But that's all if we're talking about game settings. Now let's go to controls. And now, this is pretty frustrating for me because every time I am playing the game, I need to adjust this. I want to have more smooth mouse movements. In pair with head tracking, it gives me more natural experience. Now let's go to key bindings. Let's select Advanced Control Customization. Now let's scroll down. Let's click VoIP, VoIP and head tracking and enable head tracking toggle. In this case, I'm using the same mouse button I used previously to center my head tracking. I will be able to enable and disable head tracking every time I push this button, and it will automatically reset my camera position. Let's look at this. Head tracking enabled. Head tracking disabled. Enabled. Disabled. Very easy and very handy. And that's all if we're talking about quick setup of head tracking. Everything is working perfectly. If you have any question, please tell me in the comment. And that's all. Let me know in the comment if you are already tested Beam Eye Tracker and whether you like it. Remember, you'll find all the necessary links in the video description and pinned comment. And as always, Thanks for watching, have a great day, and bye-bye.